It just overwhelmed me. This is the inside first floor. It's been cleaned up and redecorated. Now, this is what the patient hallway in Old Main looked like back in the day. And in case you missed it all, I help you out. How many did not see those two nurses standing there? See? That's why I put the red circles. For people like you. Aren't I very thoughtful, aren't I? I'm a nice guy. Opinionated, but I'm a nice guy. Now, that's what it looked like back in the day. Kind of impressive, I think. That same hallway today. We're looking down that same hallway. And you could see they got a table there. They wanted to, you couldn't go down the hallway because all these racks have patient records stored. And I guess the HIPAA laws don't allow anybody to see them, but they're in brown boxes. All you could see is numbers on the boxes. So I asked the man in charge of the local concern, I said, is it all right if I walk down there and take a few photographs? He said, well, don't touch any of the records. Go ahead. So I did. All those shelving will be full of records soon. And I took these photographs. This one is of a patient's room. By the way, the patient room was very small. They were designed for one patient. But they ended up, we had so many patients, they put two in each room. And they were so small. I can't remember what the dimensions were, but just the racks of with the records took up the whole room. I'd say it was about 6 feet by 6 feet or 8 feet. And I asked once, why would they make the room so small? Anybody know the answer? They wanted the patients to leave their rooms and join in all the activities, not stay in the room. So they made them so there was nothing there but a bed. So they got them out to be in activities. This was one of the rooms you were talking about, Judy. This is what it looks like now. Boxes and boxes of records. This is another lounge, day room, back in the day. I'm running overtime, so I'm going to have to rush here a little bit. This is another room, lounge where the ladies could do what they want to do. They had a piano. This was a woman's dormitory. Dining room. Just a chair, isn't it? Just an ordinary chair. Well, if you look closely, it's not an ordinary chair. Again, I'll help you out. How would you like to sit in a chair like that with your arms buckled? Supposing your nose itched. You see that when you go on tour, it's there. This was called the utility chair. Dentists used it, barbers used it, whatever. It was one room where they put this chair and whoever needed it. There's a big discussion and controversy. Did they chain patients in a basement? Were there dungeons in the basement? Yes or no? I have not found the answer. I've asked many people and read many books. I do not know the answer. But this is a photograph of the basement. Can you imagine being chained down there, not seeing the light of day? There are other buildings on the grounds over time that housed other activities. Time's running out, so I'll just quickly go through them. The most famous patient at the Utica Lunatic Asylum was one of the wealthiest men in America in 1850. He was from Utica, New York. His name was, oh, maybe it'll come up here, I can't remember. He saw a connection between slavery and lunatic patients because neither one of them had their freedom or their liberty. And he was very upset with that. He was on the board of directors of the lunatic asylum. He was also a financier of the Civil War, one of 6 people who financed the Civil War from Utica, New York. Wealthy, wealthy man. And he financed John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry, where the people were killed. Well, John Brown and his 2 sons were captured, and they were hanged. And so they found a note in John Brown's pocket that connected John Brown to the man in Utica who supplied the money. And so they wanted to get him too, and he would be hanged for his part. And they thought, well, this man found out about it, and he signed himself into the lunatic asylum. And some people say, oh, I already said all this. Was he consumed with guilt because of the violence that he paid for? Or was he in fear of being hanged if they caught him? Why did he sign himself in the lunatic asylum? If you read the story of this man, you know that he was a magnanimous, very, very, very respectful man. I like to believe that he just felt so bad that his money led to the killing and the hanging of those people that it just overcome him, and he just lost it. So he signed himself into the lunatic asylum. Frank Tomano, who's probably 10 times the historian that I am, said no, he was trying to escape being caught. So you want to believe Frank or you want to believe Joe? It's up to you. His name was Garrett Smith. He was born and lived in a house on Broad Street, just east of Mohawk Street in Utica, New York. Some folks believe he had bipolar disorder and the stress of the war triggered an episode, so that's why he signed himself in. You believe whatever theory you want to believe. This is a photograph of him as an old man. And if you want to read any interesting books on local people, grab the book. It's called Something Dreamer. It's a book of Smith. This is just an old photograph. I liked it so much that I included it in the presentation, to end the presentation, because it's beautiful. But you know, whether you are on whatever part of the scale of normalcy you are, you're only going to pass through this world once. So if you do some good for somebody, go ahead and do it, because you're not coming back again. Don't deter. Don't neglect it. And we'll all be better off. People say God bless America when they end everything. And I used to end everything with God bless America. Guess what? God's not going to bless America unless we honor God. So that's time we took our part to get his part. Thank you very much.
We have refreshments in the corner, and when you're having a bite to eat, take a look at our displays that were put up on women in the workforce in Clinton. Very interesting to look at. And you go downstairs, look at our museum.